Yes, hello, hi. Welcome to your full moon in Virgo presentation.
Yes, hello, hi.
Full moon in Virgo. Oh, first, let's get the housekeeping out of the way. Black Queen of Pentacles Discord community is open for you all. Use our link tree in the notes to join. And with that, you'll receive a daily tarot reading, weekly Zooms on everything from astrology, existential kink, and alchemizing anger. It's the international online witches covered. You're gonna love it. Go to our link tree, start your subscription. The next video call is our Jamaica's national horoscope. So I don't know if you're aware, but each nation has kind of a birth chart. So we're going to be looking at Jamaica's, like what's gone on with Jamaica's history and how it came to be. It's been really interesting researching for that. So that's on March 2nd. So make sure you sign up before then, and we'll send each new member the last 4 video calls as like an intro gift to kind of catch you up and make you feel like you're part of the community.
Yes, I'm excited for Jamaica Richard something.
Me too.
And
Yeah. Cool. So anyway, we digress. The full moon is in Virgo. And as we record this, I am day 29. I think I'm going to be fully bleeding tomorrow. And for those of you who aren't in the convent and didn't catch our last menstruality call, it was really good, wasn't it? And it's made me more, I was never really shy about speaking about this kind of stuff, but it kind of made me realize the importance and the value of that, of not being like, oh, it's gross and shouldn't be discussed in polite society. Like, fuck that, it's all fine, we all do it, we all bleed. So yeah, I'll be bleeding tomorrow, and it's quite hard to bleed at the full moon. I find it quite difficult because there's a lot of emotions from the moon is representing our emotions. So when it's full, they're like front and center, impossible to ignore. And then if you add to that PMS symptoms, it can get a bit wild. But hopefully I'm gonna sail through.
yeah, because I personally love bleeding with the full moon because
And
the
you're
full
like,
moon is all about releasing. It's all about releasing, right?
I mean,
And I mean, you release
Psycho,
the
love.
blood. You release your blood. Everything needs to come out. Like you don't need this thing inside of you.
I know. You tell me that every time, and I'm like, oh, but like it feels like it's gonna kill me. It's coming out so like thick and fast. I'm like, but yeah, it's fine. It's great. Emma's a Taurus, so she's more earth energy. So maybe that's why you like it so much. I'm an air sign, so I'm like, I'd rather just think about stuff. I don't want to actually experience anything bodily. No thanks. Great. Ew. But when the full moon is in Virgo, apologies, there are lessons to learn. Yeah, Virgo's this really practical sign. It's also Earth, and it's got the like kind of broad picture, big picture perspective. It likes to finish things off and dot the I's and cross the T's and like make sure everything's neat and rounded up. So tap into that, use that. It can indicate cramped style. So it has this tendency for, if you've been feeling like someone's a bit of a clinger, or someone's a bit like says what you say just to kind of ingratiate themselves to you, like they're a bit of a sycophant, or they copy you, or they're trying to like pretend to somebody that you're closer than you are to win credit or favor. The Virgo full moon is when you're like, no, I've had enough of that, and those sorts of conversations might come up. So just try to tread gently. What do they say? Flattery, no, imitation is the highest form of flattery. So they may just be imitating you or trying to perceive closeness to you because they really like you. So try to be gentle with those sorts of people. It's a good time to push through dramas and see the bright side. Yeah, Virgos aren't necessarily, they're not like your Scorpios or Cancers, not to throw any shade, who like hold a grudge and like will remember something from 30 years ago that you said, or like a side eye that you gave them in 1986. Like they're just like, it's fine, move on with life. So utilize that as well. If there's a drama in particular that's been going on forever, try to use this full moon in Virgo to like get past it in some way. And it's an
I love this. Yeah, I love this. Well, especially now there's a lot of drama going. So I live in a small community where everybody knows each other and everybody have to not necessarily have to communicate with each other, but there's a lot of common spaces and things. So basically there's a lot of drama going on. There's something every week. And yesterday I was so tired of it. Yesterday the energy was so it was so heavy. Like after I slept my 8 hour all night, I wake up and 2 hours after that, I'm like, oh, I have to go. Yeah, I had to go for a nap. And then when I wake up, I went to see everybody. I'm like, whatever drama is going on today, yesterday, tomorrow, I'm not involved. So why you come to me, talk to me about it? I don't want to know about it. I don't care. It's none of my business. Go on and live your life. Thank you. So
Yeah.
I feel this really much, like it's if I'm not concerned, I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's like the highest form of torture for me. If you've had an argument and like you had that emotional dysregulation that comes with it, like you get a bit of a pounding heart, sweaty palms, however it manifests for you. And then it's over and you're starting to like de-stress. And then my brain will like go, oh, when he said that bit, like, and then I'm there again and I'm like, why? Like, and I even say to myself, I'm like, right, brain, you can have 90 seconds of this, like reliving it, and then we're done with this. And then I'll find myself like 3 hours later and I'm still doing it. Oh, just it's done, please stop now. Like, because this part is unnecessary. Like, we all argue, we all have issues come up, but reliving them and tormenting yourself is you're choosing that now. So yeah. So I just wanted to reiterate, because we've been doing these videos a while and I'm sure you know by now, but it's sometimes nice to have a little recap, that full moons are to release our upsets, anxieties, worries, fears, resentment, anger, arguments, release all that during the full moon. So, and the point of that, because it took me a long time, I was always like, yeah, new moon intentions, I get it. But the full moon, I was a bit like, but now we're releasing it, cool. But it's because if you haven't released everything, then there's not a clean slate on which to manifest, So you really have to commit to this as well as your new moon stuff. So especially with full moon in Virgo, it really helps us with that, because it is this kind of organized, clutter-free kind of sign. It doesn't like any loose ends. It likes everything neatly tied up. So it will be like, right, we've got to get this issue resolved, because I'm not moving forward without that. So yeah, it's a really good one to release. What else do we have to say about that? It's a good time to find a balance as well between the cosmic woo-woo stuff, exciting stuff, and the more mundane day-to-day routine things that are needed. And to stop second guessing yourself. Yeah, it's quite a confident sign, because it is like analytical and critical. It can be seen as like, that's only the negative side of that, like, oh, but you were bad. But it's helpful. If you don't see your blind spots or your weaknesses, you can't then improve. So use the positive side of the critical nature of Virgo to say, okay, actually, you're right, Virgo. Thank you for highlighting that for me. And I'm going to go and work on that in these very concrete ways, and actually like put them into your diary or into your calendar, because Virgo loves that.
Awareness of self.
Exactly. And it's a reminder to live a healthier lifestyle. Yeah, Virgo's all about like the day-to-day structured planning and execution of good habits. And yeah, there's only one way to actually get the healthy lifestyle happening, and that's by doing the small day-to-day things that will result in that. So yeah, I think that's all I really have about full moon in Virgo.
I'm excited for this full moon. Oh my God. Wait till you see the houses.
Ooh, yeah. This is my favorite. So perfect. Go for it.
So let's go. So Virgo, first house. So if you have sun or rising in Virgo, your first house is mainly impacted, which is the awareness of self, the appearance house, your outward personality, how people perceive us also. If you have Sun or rising in Leo, it's your second house that is mostly impacted, which is about your personal resources, money, possession, values, and skills. If you have Cancer, Sun, or rising, your third house impacted, which is the brain house, the I think house. It's mental activity, it's learning, it's also your siblings and communication skills. After that, we have Gemini, Sun or rising. Your fourth house is impacted, which is about your inner world, your home, your parents, your roots, and your inner security, whatever is going on inside of you. Then for the fifth house, so if you have Taurus, Sun or rising, your fifth house is impacted, which is about your personal creativity, romance, children, fun, creativity in general. Then Aries for the sixth house. So if you have Sun or rising in Aries, your sixth house is mostly impacted, which is about your daily life. So your work, your health, self-improvement, whatever service you put out there, daily life.
Love that. Okay. So if you are a Pisces, Sun or rising, you've got the seventh house of lovers, spouses, exes, partnerships of any kind, cooperation and competition. If you're an Aquarius, Sun or rising, you have eighth house, which is all about joint finances, credit cards, debt, sex, anything taboo. Also, inheritance is also thrown in them. Ninth, Capricorn, Sun or rising, it's your ninth house, and that's all about the great cosmic quest, study, travel, quick trips, early education. Where was I? Sagittarius, Sun or rising, you have the 10th house being illuminated. So this is your house of career and ambition, how you want to make your mark on the world, your reputation. If you are a Scorpio, Sun or rising, it's going to be your 11th house of friends, networks, social circles, and what you're wishing for. If you are a Libra, Sun or rising, it's your 12th house, and this is the deepest, darkest, most sensitive part of your psyche. It's about your fears, withdrawal, and self-sabotage. So we love to hear from you guys. So let us know in the comments which signs are, which houses are illuminated for your sign, and the way that is manifested for you.
Yes. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I can. What I had is because I am a Gemini sun and moon, but that's incidental. I have the third house being impacted. So that's all about
Fourth house.
oh, sorry. Fourth house, is it? Oh yeah, sorry. Fourth house is of family, domesticity, and where you belong in your past. So yeah, I think I have been looking at like those sorts of issues around because Valentine's just happened. So I think that's always leading certain people to like think about past relationships and why they didn't work out maybe, or who did what wrong or who did what right and what could have been different, yada yada yada. So yeah, I have been feeling a sense of that, but I've also feel like I'm so good single, like so good single. So yeah, where you belong, your past. Like I do this thing on a Wednesday night at church called King's Daughters. It's really cute. Like this woman started it in her kitchen and now it's grown and it's like more established and it's got the support of the church, and it's kind of for women like me who are older. I'm not ancient, but I mean like someone who you'd expect to maybe be married already and they're not. So I'm 37, I'm single. And there are women there who are like 47, 57, 67, whatever. And some are single and never been married. Some are widowed, some are divorced. Like there's a whole mix. But the point of the classes is to sort of like give regard and respect to single women. Because I think it is not something that church and religions and Christianity or society as a whole really value. And I'm not saying that it is amazing and it should be valued, but I'm just saying that if a woman is single, she can feel, because of the messages that she hears all day, every day from all sources, that she's not, you know, successful, or she hasn't achieved, or she's not really a woman, or she's doing something wrong, you know. So I think that has really been helping me. I've only been to 2. It's a 6-week program, and we just gather on Wednesday nights. So that's been really nice to see that, like, sometimes you feel like you're the only one. I'm like, oh God, like, am I just the only loser that can't make this work?
But at the same time, I mean, even if you were the only one, you're the only one living your life.
Yeah,
So what's
exactly.
wrong with that? You know, you are on your own path. Even if you get married at fucking 91 years old, who cares? It's your life. Why would you get married at 24 if it's not for you now at 24, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And I keep trying to not tell everyone, but I was talking to someone recently about that, and I was trying to tell him, like, I don't want, in a way, I don't want to just find a partner when I'm dissatisfied, when I'm so dissatisfied at being single, because I think then it's like, oh, you couldn't hack single life, so you just went and found anyone. Or, you know, I think there's such a power in being good, being single, because then but the relationship's a bonus, you know. You're not gonna, it's not your everything. You're not gonna rely on them for, you know,
Yeah.
needs. And
It's
then,
balance.
yeah,
It's
it
balance.
becomes icky as well. Like, nobody wants their partner to be like, oh, thank you, like, you complete me. Like, oh no, I don't.
Oh, yeah,
You're
yeah.
already whole, please.
If you're looking for a mommy, I'm not the right one for you. Then you're not the right one for me. Bye.
Hmm. So yeah, that's what I'd say is going on with the fourth house. And in terms of releasing with the full moon, yeah, I think it's good to revisit old meaningful relationships and let go a bit more, because I know you can feel healed and you can feel like you're over it, and maybe you don't even think about them very often. But sometimes when you start something new, you realize that actually, like, a lot of that baggage has carried with you, or like you're different now because of that experience, and sometimes not different for the better. So yeah, I always do a bit of that whenever I think of past relationships in an unsatisfying and unsavory way. I'll always like try and do a bit more cord cutting.
Nice.
Yep, and then I have Sagittarius rising, so that's my 10th house of career and ambition and how you make your mark on the world and your reputation. So yeah, I think I'm good with that too. Like, I don't really feel like there's a lot to release about that, because I did my time in the birth world and it just wasn't for me. And I don't feel that I'm like giving up and walking away with my tail between my legs. I feel like I'm just pivoting to something that's more aligned, you know, like the CIC that I'm setting up called the Free Birth Association. It's still in birth, but it's more like advocacy or messaging, or, you know, it suits my skills better. I don't really like attending births. Well, I certainly don't like it. I would never attend a birth in a hospital, because that's their domain and they're horrific, and you can't really help the woman from inside there. But even births outside the system, or free births or home births that I might attend, it's very messy and down on the groundwork. Whereas I think my skill set and passion, I'm better serving people from like a messaging angle. So that's what I'm gonna do.
That makes so much sense. That makes so much sense. You know, I feel like sometimes just speaking up and showing the example is way more relevant than actively doing something, you know? Like being militant from within is already a good example for others.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing with leaders, isn't it? They don't say, "Oh, come, look, I know the way." They just walk, and people go, "Oh, right, like, look at that one. You see that?"
Yeah, let me go right behind you. Yeah. All right. So me personally, being Leo rising, my second house is impacted, which is about money, possession, and values and skills. I feel like in this case, since we're talking about releasing, I feel like I have to release limiting beliefs. This was said already, but now, you know, the way I deserve more than I than what I want. Okay, like the fact that I want to live a simple life, I want to, you know, be in the forest and have a small house and farm and things, but it doesn't mean that I have to stop there, you know? It doesn't mean that I have to stop to only my basic needs. Like I actually can attract and should want more for me because I mean, I deserve it.
Yeah, I love to hear you say that. Yeah.
Yeah, so more money, more possession, more whatever. I mean, it's not that I want to have more things. It's just that um having more valuable things or more, you know, like so the way I'm living in a room with no furniture and like I use plastic container and a door that no one was using to make myself an office or a desk. Like I mean, at one point, I will actually be able to afford a real desk and I should be going and buy it, you know, because I can, right? I don't have to limit myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And then we have the fifth house, which is about romance, fun, and creativity. I same thing. I would say the same thing. Limiting beliefs or whatever experiences I did have in the past is in the past, and I cannot, I cannot live from past experiences because the circumstances that were back then are not there today. So I should even be expecting the same thing that did happen before. And in terms of creativity, you know, it's important to be creative at all time and actually creating whatever is coming next or whatever I want for myself. So again, limiting beliefs have to go.
Happy go. Yeah, it's true. Like we are creating all the time with our thoughts and feelings and actions and words. So like you might as well try to guide that in the right way than just have it happen to you, you know.
Yes.
All right. Well, I was thinking we should add this as a sort of regular feature because it helps you to understand the astrological wheel and like what's actually happening up there at full moon. So when, as I understand it, during a full moon, the sun and the moon are on opposite sides of the zodiac. So the fact that we have a full moon in Virgo means that the sun is in Pisces, and that will like if you have a full moon in Virgo, the sun's going to be in Pisces. Like there's no other way for it to be unless we like somehow fuck up the skies with a nuclear which we may do. So yeah, sun in Pisces. Pisces is a sign that's very intuitive and heartfelt and emotional. It's a water sign, so it's got this sort of fluidity to it that can kind of adapt and adjust to whatever is going on around it or whatever is required from it in that situation or in that time. So yeah, that's also going to be happening alongside this full moon in Virgo. So if you need a little bit of lubrication or support with those conversations that you were having with regard to like someone who might have been annoying you or cramping your style and you need to tell them, use the Piscean heartfelt watery sign that the sun is illuminating to sort of help those ease those along. And let us know in the comments if you like that this segment. We'll do it. We'll start to do it regularly. Every full moon we'll tell you what that means the sun is in, because then we'll start to get an idea of like, okay, so Virgo's opposite Pisces, this is opposite that.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Because as much as I mean those two signs are opposite on the wheel, but they are really opposite. You know, if in terms of people, if you think of a Virgo person and a Pisces person, they are really, I mean, different kind of person. The way Virgo is like not dictating everything, but really solid, like in their roots and their thinking. And Pisces is more of a sponge. Pisces is more of I accept and whatever is here, I'm gonna look at it and it's here. You know?
Absolutely, like totally different beasts, aren't they? It's great.
Yeah.
So we've also got,
Balance,
sorry, go on.
balance. It just creates balance.
Exactly. We've also got a nice strong Saturn influence alongside this full moon in Virgo. So Saturn urges us to release as well. So this is perfect. it tells us to just move away from past upsets, move towards what makes you happy. And I think that's key, actually. You know, we can move away, but if we haven't got another destination, how do you know we're not going to turn, you know, end up back where we were? So try not to, it might be more helpful for some people to not think of it as moving away from a past upset, but more like,
Letting go.
yeah, like letting go and moving toward you know, joy or a positive relationship with that person or more money or whatever it
It's
is.
a choice, really. It's choosing something else. It's choosing differently. It's choosing another path. It's if you don't want this anymore, don't choose it again. Choose something else.
Yeah. And it's not enough to just say, oh, I don't want that. The universe doesn't work in those ways, does it? It needs to hear what you want. Because if it's his, I don't want that, all it gets is want that, and it will give you that.
Yeah, because the universe don't comprehend. The universe really just confirms. So the way you put your focus somewhere, well, abundance is going to flow in that direction.
Mm-hmm. So and this full moon is really exposing this to us. That's the beauty of it. Like you don't even have to really do anything. It's just gonna be obvious, and yeah, it will just be like that. So it brings change as well. You know, Saturn's is a quite disruptor kind of planet, so it brings change that can unstick you. If you felt like, oh, but it, you know, I don't like it, but it has to be like that. Now it won't. You'll sort of see a chink in the armor or an avenue or a loophole where it could unstick you. You know. So that's pretty much all. Oh no, we've got last quarter moon. So like we always say, the full moon is your release time. And then 1 week later, so you're like halfway between full moon and new moon, is what we call last quarter.
Checkpoint is checkpoint.
Yeah, it's a checkpoint. And this time it's in Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is this really like active, dynamic, adventurous, bold, witty, fun-loving sign. So I guess it's quite a good what's the word? Contrast to Virgo, which can be seen as quite like you know, authoritative or like rule oriented. So use that. So sometimes we get a bit like, oh, I've released and it's still there, or I don't want to release because they said this, but try to bring that light-hearted, adventurous, inquisitive nature of Sagittarius to them a week later. So like play around with yourself and oh god, sorry, that sounded rude. don't play around with yourself. I mean, if you want, that's fine, but that's not what I meant. Sort of joke with yourself about it, you know, don't take it too seriously, be light-hearted with it. Yeah, that would be my advice with the last quarter moon in Saggy, and that's on March 3rd.
Yeah, so basically we shouldn't take everything too seriously. We should be taking it lightly and, observe and accept.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we come on to our ritual part, and I think we will.
I think we should use crystal this time.
Yeah, okay, good shout. I was just thinking, like, yeah, we've done Earth a lot, but yeah, Earth's a good one because there's so much that's from the Earth. You know, you could even use water for a river because that's still from the Earth. So yeah, it's nice. But I've got a couple
Yeah.
of here that I'm going to use, and yeah, just release. You might like to write a list and then read it out and meditate on it.
Okay. So basically, the ritual with the crystal, what I like to do is, first of all, write down a list, so whatever I want to release. And then I have two suggestions. So you could actually whisper everything in the crystals and leave them under your pillow or leave them by the window where the moon can shine on it, right? Or you could also write the list and like wrap the crystal in it, or just put the crystal over the list and leave them somewhere where the moonlight can shine on it, and again leave it under your pillow until moon or until you feel called to remove it, because I mean there's no limit. It's really how you feel. This is just a suggestion.
Yeah, and I think often we'll just have a sense that it's time, you know, like, oh yeah, okay, that's finished now. Or with rocks and crystals and gemstones, I find that they sometimes just go and you're like, oh, okay, so it was time then. It's disappeared. So don't need that anymore.
All right, let's go with the prayer.
Yeah.
You can go first since
Okay,
you wrote it.
thank you. So on this full moon in Virgo, I release, forgive, and let it go. I honor myself by not hanging on. All pain, upset, and anger is gone.
Yes, I love it. All
Ooh.
right, second time. On this full moon in Virgo, I release, forgive, and let it go. I honor myself by not hanging on. All pain, upset, and anger is gone.
Gone, banished. Okay. On this full moon in Virgo, I release, forgive, and let it go. I honor myself by not hanging on. All pain, upset, and anger is gone.
Oh my God, I felt it
Yeah.
so much.
Woo.
Ooh, look at my face. Can you see my eyes are watery? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
Oh, I love that.
I
Yeah.
love this one. All
Yeah.
right. Okay, stop crying. Tarot reading. Woo-hoo. Today, we're talking about the Hermit card. The Hermit, I actually love this card as much as I don't know. I heard many people saying that it's kind of scary. It's kind of because Hermit mode is going inward. It's doing a lot of shadow work. It's actually putting light where the darkness is, right? So the Hermit is really about spiritual mastery, growth, and accomplishment. So it's a path of self-discovery, and as a result, you reach like a higher state of awareness. So sometimes it's good to take a break from the everyday life, to draw like your energy, attention inward in order to find answers from within and to raise your vibration and to actually like enhance your consciousness because life is all about growth, right? You don't want to be at the same position you were last year or even yesterday. So when you look at the card, you see this I want to say man, yeah, because it looked like a beard. So this person holding a lamp, like a lantern, and basically this light is lighting the way of the person. But you see how like these kind of like doesn't illuminate the full picture, the bigger picture. It's really like the few steps ahead. And basically you must step forward to see what is coming next. This is how life works, even though you want to be there in life, you still have to go to ABC to 1, 2, 3 step before you reach the fifth step, right? So basically, you don't have to trust that everything will be revealed once it's ready to be revealed. You have to trust that whatever information that is coming in is because you need to hear it or you need to learn it now. And if you don't have this information, maybe because it's not the right time or it's not aligned with your path.
Mm,
So that's it.
I love that. Spiritual mastery, growth, and accomplishment. Yes, please. This reminds me of it might have been a couple of lunations ago, but do you remember I was saying about how I feel like I go through these periods of like loads of growth and I'm having like spiritual enlightenment and reading loads of books and getting introduced to different gurus and theories and practices. And then I'll have like these even year-long stretches of like what feels like stagnation in comparison to that. But the hermit really expresses that that's fine, you know, that's not it's not necessary stagnation. Like you don't
Mhm.
really know what's going on below the depth. And it might just
Yeah, and when so much information comes toward you, you see you like those periods of growth and things. After those periods of growth and things, you actually have to acknowledge everything, process everything, like sink in until the next level up, until the next growth stage or
exactly.
yeah.
That's what I think that's what I love about the hermit. It's like, yeah, that's like all part of it. You know, you have to integrate it. You can't just constantly be like absorbing, absorbing, absorbing. It has to go in at some point.
Sink in. Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yes, I want to pull cards. I
Yeah.
want I want a message. We want to know, I feel like I want more. so the hermit, right? Maybe we could have some kind of direction or
Yeah,
advice.
clarify the hermit. Like, yeah, what are we supposed to be doing? Where are we hermiting? When are we hermiting? Why are we hermiting?
I love this. So two cards came out. You know, I work with jumper cards, so I always shuffle, and whenever one or multiple cards jump out, this is a message that needs to be heard. This is the message I would receive, and this is the message that I will trans give. Thank you for the word. So we have, first of all, message in a bottle and one step ahead. So basically, whenever you receive the message from the bottle, so from within, right? You are the buckle in this case. So from when you receive the message, you can make the next step. You can walk a step ahead, because I mean, if you don't have the information already, how do you know that you would go this direction or anything? So basically, the advice would be, when you receive new information, acknowledge them, let them sink in, and then walk or work or move accordingly, right?
Hmm, okay.
Yeah.
Love that. Nice. This jumped out, and Five of Wands is, I was like, yeah, this makes perfect sense, because this is about an imminent,
Conflict.
yeah, but I always feel like Five of Wands to me, I always think is an imminent flurry of activity and action and
Yeah.
busyness. So
Yeah.
yeah, like enjoy the hermit, because it ain't gonna last long, because Five of Wands is coming. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think also, like, you know, when you are in hermit mode, there's like conflicts in your head, in the sense that you acquire new information that wasn't resonate with you in the past, but resonate with you now, or will resonate with you in the future. So there's this conflict in your head that, is this for me? Is this not for me? And you actually have the choice again to take the direction that is more aligned with you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then I just thought I'd get some of these Moonology oracle cards. And this one was the new moon eclipse. And the message there is to expect powerful change. Eclipses are some madness. So when this card's pulled, it's like unusually momentous times, unusual opportunities, chance in a lifetime kind of thing. So yeah, expect powerful change there.
I feel like we're entering a period. Okay, I'm gonna talk for me personally. I'm really in a period of growth right now. Like, I mean, since mid-January, I would say there's a lot of new information coming in. There's a lot of new realization, and there's a lot of things that I did not used to see, and I see it now, or see it differently. And it's just, I love how, like, you know, speaking about the hermit, and I'm able to process the information and act accordingly. This is really, I'm grateful for this. So yeah, I wish that to anybody, everybody.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? Because you can have the knowledge or the understanding or the wisdom, but if that knowledge doesn't change how you be or how you react, it's sort of useless. So yeah, when you
Right.
have experiences like you are, where you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I actually can do that. To
Yeah,
have,
because you know, when they say, if you don't know better, you cannot do better. But
Mm.
when you know better, it doesn't mean that you will do better, you
No,
know?
it's not
Because sometimes, yeah, sometimes it's just easier to choose comfort and to choose whatever was there before, because it's comfortable, because it's like, it's a known territory, right? But yeah, growth come with change, and growth come with sacrifices. So if you want to go further and be in a further point in life, in a higher consciousness level, you have to let go of things, and you have to process new information at all times.
Yes, change is afoot. It seems like, yeah. All right then. Woo woo woo. That's your full moon in Virgo, chaps and chapesses. And we're going to be back with you on the 10th of March for a super new moon in Pisces. We just had a super new moon in Aquarius, did we not? So, interesting times.
Yeah.
That's us now.
It's funny because we mentioned in the last presentation how, oh, we have a lot of super full moons but we rarely see super new moon, or like maybe we were just not aware of it or never paid
Yeah,
attention.
maybe. Because
Because
yeah, I mean they're
I
they're
mean, two
clearly.
in a row, you know? And super new moon in Pisces, so get ready to become emotional.
Yeah. Yikes.
Oh
All right.
God.
Well, Godspeed. And like, share, and subscribe, and put comments because we love to hear from you. Mwah!
Love and light.
Love
Yes,
and
hello,
light.
bye.
Bye.